my billionaire grandpa died in a tragic accident, his lawyer revealed I was the sole heir to his $7 billion fortune. My family demanded I hand it over. I refused. That night, they kicked me out. I moved into my grandpa's mansion. The next day, they came to evict me, but froze when they saw who was standing beside me. Their faces froze in shock. My grandpa didn't look like a billionaire. He drove a rusted Ford, wore faded flannel shirts, and spent his weekends fishing in silence. When his truck skidded off a slick mountain road last week, my entire world shattered. He was the only person in my family who actually gave a damn about me. My parents and my older brother treated me like an absolute joke because I chose to be an architect instead of joining my father's ruthless corporate real estate firm. Yesterday, we all sat in a sterile, mahogany-lined boardroom for the reading of his will. My father was practically salivating, expecting to inherit what he thought was just Grandpa's modest farm, so he could bulldoze it and sell the land. Then Grandpa's lawyer, Mr. Vance, dropped a bomb that sucked the oxygen right out of the room. Grandpa didn't just own a farm, he secretly owned the entire valley, a massive private equity firm, and liquid assets totaling exactly $7 billion. To my only true family, my grandson, Vance read aloud, looking directly at me. I leave everything. The room instantly erupted into chaos. My dad lunged across the table, his face purple with rage. My brother screamed that I must have manipulated an old man and forged the documents. Mr. Vance just tapped his pen against the desk and coldly stated that the paperwork was ironclad. That night, back at my parents' house, the polite masks completely fell off. My father cornered me in the kitchen, blocking the exit. "You are going to sign over that trust," he demanded, his voice shaking with pure venom. "You don't deserve a single dime of that money. Give it to the family or get out." I looked him dead in the eye, feeling nothing but a profound, empty chill. "No," I said quietly. He grabbed me by the collar and physically threw me out the front door into the freezing, pouring rain. "You're dead to us!" My mother shrieked from the porch, slamming the heavy door shut. I stood in the mud with nothing but the clothes on my back. I didn't beg. I didn't cry. I didn't even knock to get my things. I just pulled out my phone and called Mr. Vance. Within 20 minutes, a sleek black SUV pulled up to the curb. Vance drove me straight to Grandpa's real home, a sprawling, ultra-modern fortress hidden deep in the hills that my family never even knew existed. I walked through the echoing halls, spent the night in a king-size bed, and planned my next move in total silence. I knew my family wouldn't just let this go. At 9 a.m. the very next morning, the perimeter alarms of the estate gently chimed. I watched the security monitors as my dad's BMW aggressively smashed through the outer security gate. He marched up to my mahogany double doors with my brother, and two local deputies they had clearly lied to. They pounded on the door like feral animals. "Open up," my dad roared. "We're here to evict a trespasser. You think you can steal from us?" I took a deep breath, adjusted the cuffs of my jacket, and pulled the doors open. My father smirked, stepping forward to physically grab me again, but then he froze. The arrogant smirk completely vanished from his face. His skin drained of all color, turning pale white. He wasn't looking at me anymore. He was staring at the man standing right beside me. It was Richard Sterling. Sterling was the notoriously ruthless CEO of the corporate bank that financed my father's struggling real estate firm. He was also the man my dad had been desperately dodging for 6 months, regarding a string of massive, unpaid loans. "Good morning, David," Sterling said to my dad, his voice like absolute ice. "I believe you're trespassing on my boss's private property." My father choked on his own breath, his eyes wide with terror. "Your boss?" my father stammered. Sterling nodded gently, gesturing respectfully toward me. "Your son just acquired the controlling interest in our bank," Sterling explained smoothly, "which means he now owns your firm's debt and consequently the deed to your house." The silence that followed was deafening. My mother let out a small, pathetic gasp. My brother instinctively took a slow, terrified step backward. The two deputies, quickly realizing they had been used as pawns in a very dangerous game, quietly tipped their hats to Sterling and walked back to their cruiser. I looked at the people who had thrown me away like garbage just 12 hours ago. "You kicked me out of your house last night," I said, my voice dangerously calm and hollow. "So I'm returning the favor." I stepped back into the foyer. "You have exactly 24 hours to vacate my property. All of them." Without another word, I let the heavy doors click shut, leaving them completely ruined, standing out in the cold. After my